Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and another episode of Cash or Trash, which almost didn't happen. Tom didn't get his video out till an hour ago. So I was debating on whether or not I was going to do this, and then I decided, and I did the prep work for all of the CBSI books and all of the Key Collector books on the Key Collector 20. And then Tom dropped his video, and I erased a bunch of the stuff on the other books because I didn't want to really talk about 23 books. So 15 books is what we're talking about this week. And say hello. We got Mr. Jeffrey Comic-Con Henson in the chat. What's going on, Jeffrey? Vote for Jeffrey. Backseat driver. What's going on, my friend? Kachung and Delphia, thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out. So this is why we're an hour later than typical, is because Tom's video didn't drop till an hour ago. So, Gorilla Todd, what's going on, man? So, as always, this is my breakdown of this week's hot books that CBSI put on their list and Tom puts on his video, which literally, like I said, only dropped an hour ago. Quality programming. So what you're saying is you're buying time until there's quality programming. So some dumpster fires, JB. Well, we will see if we got any dumpster fires today. What's going on, Sam? Dreadnox, what's going on? As always, this is my opinion. Unlike the look back where I try to just give facts, this is all my opinion and me taking some shots at some comic books because it's fun. So without further ado, let's dig into this, man. There you go. First up, all right, hang on. First up, let me get back to my little thing. Somebody wanted this to be first. I think this is more really of this, maybe not quite to the level of a dumpster fire. First book on the list this week is Ren and Stimpy #1. It's not really going for that much. There was a 400, but there was like a 400% increase in sales this week. This is one of those Tom Key Collector things. It's going for 10 to 15 bucks. 9.8 went for 60. And this is all based on the fact that Comedy Central is talking about doing a reboot of the show, but this comic book was never important to the show in any way, shape, or form anyway. So why are we... Wasn't like the show was based on the comic book. The comic book just came out as like a kind of a spoof from the show. So, hey, cool comic guy, what's going on? This is like, why are you wasting your time with this? Is really like, why are we focused on Ren or Stimpy? Sorry. Next we have Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the Fiona Staples 1 in 30 variant. No, 1 in 50 variant. Helps if you look at the right book that you're talking about. 1 in 50 variant. And this one is. So I talked about this I hit the list about a month ago, and it was up to this. Like, what is this? Here, let me get my dates right. In early June, this was a 9.8 of this was $250 to $300. By July, when all the Miles stuff was happening, it was up to $1,000. Recently, it jumped up to $2,200, and then just right now, there's been yesterday or something, there was like a $3,000 sale for this in a 9.8, this 1 in 50 cover. This book, like Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man #1, has been jumping, and this cover has just skyrocketed. Like I said, it's up to $3,000. Raw copies are going for $450 right now. This is an I'll be back. I get the love for Miles right now. Everything Miles, in my opinion, is an I'll be back. Now is the absolute worst time to be buying into Miles. You're too late to get it before the craziness. you're going to have to wait till the mania dies down a little bit and then you can find some deals. I don't think these books are ever coming all the way back, but I do think they won't stay necessarily where they're at. Because right now the hype train is just out of control for not just Miles, but a ton of modern books. And Perry is lurking. What's going on, man? June says he collected Ren and Stimpy. Well, now's your chance to turn it. Yeah. June is quoting Ren and Stimpy. Here we go. Let me catch up. Bear is voting for Jeffrey. Aren't we all? So, yeah, I just think at this point, like, if you don't have these Miles books, you should just wait. That's my opinion. I think they're all going to come back a little bit at some point. Maybe not for a while, but at some point. Next, we have another just cover. This is Ice Cream Man number 20, and this is a homage to Dr. Seuss, obviously. And this book is going, because I just wrote some of this down. I don't have any of it memorized, sorry. $20 at the moment, right out of the gate. And Bear's like, didn't even realize Jeffrey was here. Yeah, I think Miles stuff will go up over the long haul backseat, but like I think that it's going to settle at a little bit lower than where it's at now for a while, and then probably go back up again. This book, I don't know that I would call this a trap. I think the history on the Ice Cream Man books say that these covers tend to hold. Like, this is a fairly popular series. These covers, when I've looked at them, have tended to hold for the most part. I wouldn't necessarily go right out after it, but I don't think it's necessarily a trap at $20. I think you're looking at long-term a $15 to $20 cover. So I would call this an I'll be back because of that. But yeah, 3,000 for a modern book is insane. Yeah, there's a lot of insanity going around right now, Kachung. A lot of insanity. Next, we have the first of several second print books this week, and this is Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 1, the second print. It's already a $15 to $20 book, and that's a cool Boba Fett cover. I realize I guess there is some first appearances in this Bounty Hunter thing. I do not understand the craziness with all these second prints right now. To me, this is not that good a cover that it would drive it for me, but I'm going to call this an I'll be back because I don't think it's ever going to, it's Boba Fett, so I don't think it's ever going to like way drop off in value, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't been using my little brand things because there you go. I'll be back. So, but yeah, I don't understand the second print craze. I realize they're more limited because the print run is lower than the first, but yeah, I don't know. To me, they're not really the first appearance of the character. They're a second print. I'd be like, oh, I have a rare second print of. Do you want a second print of Action Comics? Or you want Action Comics? I'm just saying, like, it is a sick cover, so that's probably why. That's why I say it's going to be an I'll be back. I'd say it'll probably stay in the $10 to $20 range. I don't think it's going to drop much for, but yeah, there's not much here. Well, there's a bunch of second prints this week. We'll get to them backseat. But William Smallwood, what's going on, man? Well, there were, I don't know, after like I narrowed it down from like the 23 books I was looking at before Tom dropped the video. They might not have kept all the second prints, but yeah, there was a bunch of them that they were talking about this week. Next, we have sort of what I consider a second print. This is the Batman 92 foil convention exclusive. So these all come out after the fact. These are convention exclusives. And this thing is going for $40. First cover of this Art Germ cover of Punchline, first cover of Punchline, or tied for it with the A cover. And I think what's driving this is just the fact that, oh, well, this is actually semi-limited, unlike Batman 92 that everyone's seen the covers way before and ordered 1 billion copies of. This is actually a little bit limited. So the Punchline craze has not went away. People are still trying to get Punchline. They're still paying, and they're paying $40 right now for this foil. I will say that's not that unusual a value for some of these foil convention exclusives DC does early on. They often go from that $20 to $40 range. And having looked at them, typically they hold at the bottom end of that, not the top end. So typically they become like $20 books, $25 books. So I'm calling this an I'll be back as well, because I do think it'll hold value some. I just don't. I don't think it'll hold at 40. What did Sam say? Did he say that wrong? Great covers for no reason to be 20. Oh yeah. Check out the late printings for Venom 4. Those prices are spiking. Oh yeah, I know. All the Venom printings are going through the roof. Hey Jay Bonilla, what's going on? Yeah, there's a million store exclusives. There's second, third, fourth prints. Unruly is letting us know how much he loves Punchline. I'm going to send you like a Punchline care package, Unruly. I think that's. I'm just going to send you like a bunch of Punchline stuff. Next, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 4 or 104. 104. Sorry. The 1 in 10 variant was Garing variant. Yeah, 1 in 10. So, what's going on here is people are speculating that this is the first cover appearance of the last Ronin, which is one of the Turtles, mind you. But this last Ronin series is coming. Everybody's like highly anticipating it, particularly Turtle fans. And so we don't know which Turtle necessarily is, because at one point during the thing, they all like are wearing red bandanas. So it's not just because it's red. It's not necessarily Raphael. But this turtle on this cover is holding all 4 weapons. Sword, staff, got the sai and the nunchucks attached to his back. So people are specking that this is the first appearance of the last Ronin, which is, I guess, sort of like first appearance of Immortal Hulk. Same character, but different. So that's what's going on with this book. As a result, this book has jumped up to a $20 book. There's actually been sales, I kid you not, for 100 and 125, even though most of the sales are still 20-ish. There's listings are all in the 50, 60 plus range. There's been some sales in the $30 range too, but most part it's been going for 20. But the book is spiking and going up. Yeah, and it's because people are speculating that this is the first cover appearance of the last Ronin. We don't even know which turtle the last Ronin is going to be. We may not know which turtle the last Ronin is going to be. But that's what's going on. Cool guys saying it's Jenica. Maybe, but we don't know that. I refrain from turtle spec. I wouldn't argue with this. We do know it's not the white turtle. There you go. So that's what's going on with this book. What did I call? I think this is a trap. Even if that storyline's good, I don't really like. It's not really. There's nothing in the book. There's not. It's just a turtle with all 4 weapons. That doesn't necessarily. Yeah, to me that doesn't mean it's the last Ronin. But whatever. And speaking of Robin King, there we go. You guys knew this was coming. Dark Knights Death Metal Legends of the Dark Knight number 1, the 1 in 25 Andrews variant that is going for $200 the first week of release. I wanted 25 for $200. Jesus. People have went insane. This was, mind you, this was pre-sailing for as high as 300 plus. So before it came out, it was pushing 300 plus. Now it's going for 200. So it's already dropped back for those that were trying to buy it even before it came out. It's already dropped back because it wasn't super low print on this book. But it's still going for $200. They didn't put the main cover on this week for this Robin King thing, which is another version of Bruce Wayne. Here's the thing. It's written down as the first full appearance of Robin King and the Darkest Night, which is maybe going to be the main character of this death metal thing. And both of them, where's the book? Where'd I lay it? Oh, I laid it here somewhere. Maybe I didn't. That's dang it. Oh, you guys are going to be... I laid the pile too far away, and now I can't reach it, and now I can't find what I'm looking for. I can't find what I apparently put it away. But both of them appear in Dark Knight Metal #2. Now, those are cameos, even though they both speak. Like the Robin talks to the Batman Who Laughs. He says, "Oh, you're smarter than the rest. Do you want to be a king?" And like he's like, "Oh, crap!" Like they're having a conversation that he's going to be the Robin King. And then the Darkest Night also appears at the back of the book, and speaks. But of course, that's a cameo. Anyway, people are going nuts for this book. I think this is a big, massive monster trap. Realistically, like it's a little bit $200. Is just ridiculous, but I think in reality, I don't think this book is ever going to drop all the way. Like it's going to be like worthless. I think it's more of a trap than it is a dumpster fire. We'll see. I mean, given the legs that, if you told me Batman Who Laughs was going to have these kind of legs, I would have told you, I wouldn't have believed you. And like when they first introduced the character, but yeah. So I'm guessing Robin King's going to have a little bit of legs, but not. Yeah, this is a trap. Let's move on to Canto. Let me go back to comments. Yeah, he's just super evil. Sam likes the dinosaur better than the Robin King. That's on the road, Unruly. Oh, is Unruly on the road? Yeah. Midtown before it sold out 1 minute. Nice, good for you. So Canto is hot again. Raw copies of #1 are now up to 120. 9.8s are pushing 500. This is just a super popular series. I know the one shots, or I think it was just a one-shot spinoff, or maybe it was a spinoff series. I thought it was a one shot. Just came out like a week or so ago. This continued to drive interest in this. This book was really hard to get in high grade. It was a fairly low print. And people love this series. This thing has, as far as I could find, it still hasn't even been optioned, and it's going for these kind of values. I don't think this book's going anywhere. I think this is a straight cash book. I mean, if you have one, yeah, I think this book, I don't know what the ceiling is on it, but I think the floor is not much far from where it is right now. There is one Star Wars book this week, Super Mars. I'll get to that in just a minute. Hey, 84, what's going on, man? Hope you had a good time hunting books this morning. But yeah, I think at this point, Canto is, yeah, I think it's a solid, if you have it, I think it's a solid book. One shot setting up the next run of Canto. That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember for sure. So yeah, this is super popular, and it's got the value to prove it. Next we got another TMNT. This is Raphael #1, first Casey Jones. All these TMNT books, like Kavi was talking about something, we were offline, that like there was a Comic Link auction that a TMNT 1 went for like record values for the grade. These TMNT books are super hot right now. The series is popular. The last Ronin thing, I think, is driving it some. There's also talk of another series. And this was a book that was undervalued for a long time. I think this first Casey Jones was pretty undervalued. Last week, it was on the list. I talked about it hitting records. Well, it hit all new records again. It set a record at 9.8 at 1750, at 9.6 at 750, 9.4 at 630. Yeah, so 2 weeks in a row it's setting records, and yeah, this is another. So we had a couple of, high quality books this week, I think. Where are we at? What's next? Oh my gosh, Donny Cates. Donny Cates and Thor. I'm just gonna be honest. I think people have lost their goddamn minds on Donny Cates. Yeah. So yeah, book one is the valuable one. But I think that spiked a little bit of the interest this week of why it jumped up again. Yeah. Oh, ow, dang. So Ultimates, what is this? Ultimates number 2, the second print, another damn second print, but because it's got this Galactus cover is why. And this is the first appearance of Lightbringer Galactus, which was like this alternate reverse almost version of Galactus where he, like, instead of consuming worlds, actually gives life to worlds. And there's a bunch of spec because of something Galactus says in this run about that he's going to return all the thing to the universe infinite times or whatever, all that he's consumed, he's going to return or whatever, that Donny Cates is going to go down and take him toward this Lifebringer thing. I have no idea if that's true, but is it worth this second print worth $100 to $125? Because that's what it's going for. I kid you not. $100 to $125 for the second print of Ultimates number 2, the first appearance of Lifebringer Galactus. It's trap, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Be smarter. just don't do it. Even if you're a Lifebringer Galactus. Anti-Galactus, yes. Thank you. Yes, Kitty is, I think, it's stupid spec. Called the Lifebringer. Yes, it is. Galactic. Oh, yeah. So, all right, where are we at? Next. Oh, more Cates. More Thor. Thor, number 4, the second print. It's got Black Winter on the cover. And right out of the gate, this thing is doing $10 to $20. I don't know why all this value for second print, or sort of has Black Winter on the cover. There's a third print coming, which I think they dropped the image from. I think I saw it on, I don't know if it's a third print of this one or 3, that actually has like a really cool image of Black Winter that's probably going to go in freaking sane. That I think you could still order. So yeah. I get people have lost this Kate stuff. People have lost their minds, in my opinion. All these paying all this crazy money for second, third prints, first prints. I don't understand it. I get I get it to a certain degree when the cover is like the character didn't appear on the original cover. They appear on the cover and it's their first appearance. Okay. At least that's justifiable to go after these second and third prints, but like he's a blob. We've already seen this version of Black Winter. There's nothing here. Like, why are you paying $20 for this? I don't know. I think this is a trap. Next up, more Donny Cates, because the whole list is about Donny Cates. Yes, they are. I'm not sure which book Jeffrey's talking about, but yeah. Good for you, sell those suckers. Thor 5. Okay, I couldn't remember the issue, but yeah, but there's a third printing coming of 4 as well. But I think the cover I'm thinking about, I think Franco is right. I think it is Thor 5 that has a really cool image of Black Winter that's on the third print. That's probably going to go absolutely in bat shit crazy, because that's what where the comic community is right now. I get Cates is a good writer. I'm not knocking his writing. I just think that the obsession is a little like we still don't even know if Null is a good character. Not really. We think he is. We think he like could be a really good character and is cool, but mostly at this point, it's a concept, and people are paying insane prices for it. We have no idea if Black Winter is worth a damn as a villain, and how many villains truly carry that. Particularly new villains truly carry that kind of value for any length of time. Null, the Batman Who Laughs. Any others? Recent villains that have been big? Like Punchline is thinking about it. Any others? We don't know anything about Black Winter at this point. People are paying $70, $80, $100 for these first appearances. And all I have to say is Naomi, Weapon H. For everyone that hits, there's so many that don't. And I just, yeah. Go get them things 9.8 and sell and make $1,000. It's crazy. Everyone's riding on the Dark King being good, and we have no idea if it's going to be. I mean, Cates' history says, yes, it's probably going to be good, but I don't know. Yeah, and that's this virus, but not huge. Yeah. I mean, not everything that he has blown up, but I found first appearance of 26 for cover price the other day and went and put it on eBay and sold it for 20. It's like, okay. So back to my book we're looking at here. In case they trust, everybody does. This is not Carnage Mind Bomb. This is ASM 270 or 375. The first appearance of Anne Weying. I don't know. Eddie Brock's ex, Dylan's mom. And basically, this is her first appearance. And I guess there's a spoiler that dropped for Venom 27 that involves her. I didn't see the spoiler. I won't give the spoiler away even if I had, but I didn't actually see it. But there's some kind of that the story is tying back to her in some way. There's some spoiler going on here. So her first appearance is spiking as a result. 500% increase in sales. A $5 book is now a $10 to $30 book. It's a little all over the place. 9.8 went for $150 on this. This is that gold foil. This is not a great image of it because you can't really see the gold foil, but this is that gold foil cover, which is fairly hard to get in a high grade, but this is a trap. I'm not paying $30 for this. Maybe in Cates I don't trust. Maybe I just am too negative on Cates. But have we cared about this lady ever? I don't know. I know she becomes Sea Venom at one point. I do not know how to pronounce her name. It's Anne, and it's Weying. Weying? Anne Weying? I don't know. So, A Planet, Arizona. What's going on? So anyway, I don't think this is. I think this is crap spec. But I have clearly shown that I'm biased against Cates because I'm not, all on board with some of this stuff. Next, we have our Star Wars book. Someone asked about Star Wars book earlier. Our one Star Wars book of the week, and this is a third printing. So we are all about the late printings. This is Star Wars Legacy #1, the first appearance of Darth Krat, Krayt. I don't know. This was a $30 book. It's now a $100 plus book. CBSI didn't really even state why. This one's jumping. I don't know if there's any rumors about this character. It's kind of a cool cover. It's kind of a limited book. Star Wars books are going insane. I don't know. It was a $30 book before, which means to me makes me think that it does have some value, but 100 plus? No, hell no, it's a trap. At the very least, it's an I'll be back. Why would you pay for this random book? Why would you be paying 100 plus? I don't get it. I don't get it. Hey, Superpower, what's going on? Yeah, the Carl Brock first appearance is hot as well right now. Spec says that's who Virus is. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe everything Cates touches right now is people to go insane for, and everything. And people are going insane for lots of stuff. I mean, Miles, Kamala's jumping up, like Spider Gwen's going crazy, and another book that has kind of exploded through the barrier, like. So Young Avengers has been on this list multiple times in the last 2 years that I've been doing this. Well, not this, but the look back and stuff. And a rumor comes out about Kate Bishop or whoever, or one of these characters, mostly Kate Bishop, and the book will spike up to 300, 350 for 9.8. And then it'll settle and everything will kind of quiet down. And then it settles back down around 2 to 250 for 9.8. Raws will jump up to 100 plus and they'll settle back down 50 to 75 kind of thing. And it's done this multiple times. Well, last week it jumped again. And then this week it kept going. For the first time, it really kind of kept going. And right now it's at 400 plus for 9.8. So has the Miles run begun? Miles took off. The Spider-Gwen book that had been setting for 9.8 at between 500 and 600 is now pushing 1,000. The Kamala Khan first appearance, that Marvel, all new Marvel Now 0.1 thing, was setting 3 to 4-ish, and now it's pushing 600. So has this book finally, like, it had been doing that cycle thing. Has it finally is it going to break through and take off? I think there's a good chance of it at this point. I don't think there's enough here. I would agree with you, Kenny. There's a bunch of first appearances here. Yes. How many of these characters are actually going to matter? I think Kate Bishop has a chance to mattering to the movies. I don't know about any of the rest of them. The question is this book, I don't think it has a ceiling that Miles has. Like, I don't think it has a ceiling that Ultimate Fallout 4 does, because I think Ultimate Miles is a bigger and better character than any of these combined. But having said that, don't be shocked if in a month it's $600, or $700 or $800 for this, because that's just where the market is going. I don't think it's worth that. I think that's crazy personally, but at this stage, this book is, it's straight cash, and I don't think it's like I talked about that it would push 350 and then it would settle around 250. I don't think it's doing that again. I think this time it's going to go up and it's going to stay higher than it's been. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a bunch. So, that is not a fair comparison to this book. It can be a good book without being that, and that's for darn sure. There you go, Katrina. Okay. Right about Sue Store's great stuff, because I think I have her first. There you go. Franco, who's your store? She doesn't remember Kate. She doesn't exist, right? But yeah, so we'll see. I think that things might have just changed with this book. Maybe not. I could be wrong. It might settle again, but we still haven't gotten official word that Haley Steinfeld's been cast as Kate Bishop, but we know it's coming. I think this book's headed for a new category than it was before. Thank you, Sam. I just think that this is different than the pattern that it had been on for the last several months. And given what's happened with these other modern Marvel first appearances lately, I think it's going to keep going for now. I don't think to me, this book is Kate Bishop and not like I don't think any of these other characters matter. And I don't think she's as good a character as Miles or Kamala or Spider-Gwen, but I think the days of this book being a $300 book are over. All right, last book. Right? Yes, last book. Kung Fu, Richard Dragon, Kung Fu Fighter, #1. So this is the first appearance of Richard Dragon, but it is also the first appearance of Bronze Tiger. And the Bronze Tiger spec is what's driving that this week. This book has jumped basically from a $10 to $20 to maybe $30 book to now a $30 to $60 book for raw copies, depending on condition. 9.8 just went for $250. What's driving this? Hey, Bubs. Well, you could say that, Bubs, but I do think she's going to be in the MCU, so that's the only reason she matters. Hey, Stay Bub, what's going on? I don't have a Young Avengers, Franco, so there you go. Don't have one of those. But welcome, Bubs. Welcome. You're in time for the last book. So what's driving this? Two things. One, word that Bruce Timm is working on a new animated movie for DC that's going to be around like these kind of characters. It's going to include like Bronze Tiger and Lady Shiva. It's like a kung fu animated movie. So that sparked some interest. And then it got the double whammy this week because a bunch of the people on the set of Suicide Squad sent James Gunn a happy birthday message. I kid you not, this is in Tom's video. And including Idris Elba. And nobody knows who he's playing. The spec has been for a long time that he's playing Vigilante. But there were others that thought he might be. Bronze Tiger was kind of the other choice, that he might do that. Well, he did his happy birthday to James Gunn in like a tiger growling voice, somewhat similar to the voice he used for Shere Khan in the Jungle Book movie. So there's that, but there's everybody specking that know that he just gave away that he's going to be Bronze Tiger in Suicide Squad, because nobody knows for sure which character he is. So that's the other factor that's driving this book this week. To me, this is an I'll be back. I think it's a solid book. I think there's a little bit of craziness. If we get confirmation that that's who he's going to be, the book will spike more. Don't get me wrong, but we're still a little ways from this movie being released. I think there's some time to let it kind of settle and go grab it. But if you want it, yeah. And we don't know. And like I said, nobody knows. This is pure spec based on him saying happy birthday to James Gunn like a tiger. like growling happy birthday. Like, I don't know if he was using some filter or using something. I don't know. But everybody's like specking on it. I would agree that Vigilante fits the Suicide Squad mold a little more than Bronze Tiger. But Kenny, I would agree with you that. But that's what's going on here. There you go. Hey, yo, Biggie, you were in time for me to wrap this up because that was our last book of the week. But thanks for hopping on for a minute. Yeah, I think I think some of the Donny Cates stuff is a little out of control. But so far, I've been more wrong than right on Donny Cates in terms of how much these are worth. Young Avengers 12. Well, not that they mentioned this week, but there probably is some. And that's where she takes is that where she takes the name of Hawkeye? I forget. But yeah, so that's this week's list. I think there's some solid stuff. Canto, Raphael, Young Avengers is headed, I think, to a new category. But mostly it's things I'd be patient on. And yeah, let me get this off of here. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out. You're not right. Sorry, Biggie. I have other things. I am actually behind because Tom's video came out late. I'm not doing this till it's almost 3, and I have other stuff I have to do, so I do have to run. But yeah, so thanks everybody for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next week.